Happy 2018, Interblops! With the new year comes a new game, so pack your bags, folks, we're going back into Exile. Yes, with the Genesis version of the first Exile done and dusted, it's time to delve into the final installment of the XZR and Exile series, Exile 2, Wicked Phenomenon. Developed by Telenet's Riot team and released in 1992, right on the heels of its predecessor, Wicked Phenomenon is a step forward in some ways and a step back in others. It has some very nice background art and some cool enemy designs, and the cutscenes are a little livelier than Exile's. Most notably, for the very first time in the series, Sadler's companions are playable. On the downside, remember all those cool nods to historical and legendary figures in Exile? Yeah, to the best of my recollection, Wicked Phenomenon has none of that. It's pretty much self-contained within its game world, save for the occasional mention of locations like Baghdad. There's also a weird property of its scrolling, in which you have to get dangerously close to the edge of the screen to make any movement happen. Finally, and most notoriously, while tweaking the game for its English release, Working Designs broke the last dungeon. It is excruciatingly difficult even at max level. I beat it on proper hardware in my teens through sheer bloody-minded stubbornness, but only time will tell if I can manage it again. Fortunately, there is a workaround if I hit a wall there. Well then, gentle viewer, please make yourself comfortable as we set out with Sadler on his last known adventure. In a world torn by hate, can there ever be peace? Okay, rather nice little intro to the main cast there, and you gotta love Kindy's bathroom slippers. Exile 2 has some pretty major issues, as we'll be seeing soon, but presentation is not one of them. It's generally a pretty good-looking and sounding game, and has some nicely dynamic cutscenes. So, full marks to Riot for that. Let's head on in, shall we?
From afar to speed you to your destiny. Oh, chosen one, you must go to Baghdad. This evil, the age of chaos is upon us.
What do you mean, prophet?
Mankind's fate lies with you.
He's gone. That is a really annoying trick. Baghdad.
So, who else noticed that the game can't decide what Sadler's eye color is? It was brown, then blue, then brown, then blue again. Weird. Also, I should probably mention that this is by no means a blind LP, but it's going to be kind of an amnesiac one. I remember the early game fairly well, and the incredibly broken final dungeon, but most of what comes in the middle is kind of a fog. It's been a long time since I played this game, and I only did a brief technical test as opposed to an entire practice run, so if you're not familiar with Exile 2, we're going to be discovering quite a bit of it together. As in the previous game, we start out in Assassi, but the town looks a little more built up than the last time we were here. And we start out with Bat's sword and shield, just like in Exile 1, which makes me wonder what happened to that cool Void Sword. Very, very irritating habit of RPG series protagonists. They keep throwing out their cool shit from game to game. The world must return to light soon, or all mankind will perish. If you can make it to Madonna, I'm sure they can enlighten you about Baghdad. Whispers in the alleys tell of a savage beast terrorizing the land. Tell me it's a lie! Ah, Sadler, I knew you'd return to us. The Oasis of Madonna lies to the north. One nice thing about Exile 2 is that shops generally look a little different than the regular buildings in town, so you can find them in a hurry if you need to. Who's this for? This is a little hint that it's going to be a multi-character game, although of course we only have Sadler right now. And this is a small upgrade for the sword and shield, but we start with no money, so we can't pick them up quite yet. Let's see, 30 gold, and 30 gold. I want to pick these up, so I'll grind a little bit in the first side-scrolling sequence. It won't take long, though. And we were supposed to be headed north to Madonna, but seems our path is blocked, so we'll do a little more investigating in town. The drugs in Exile 2 still have their names obfuscated for the most part, but usually it's a little easier to tell what they might be. Like coca, I'm sure is cocaine, harish for hashish. Joyako, on the other hand, I don't know what that might be. If you have any clue, please weigh in the comments. As always, I like to learn. The Clispins are becoming more violent. Sadler, Savior, deliver us from them! Now, if you didn't see the TurboGrafx LP of Exile 1, the Clispins are the folks that were called the Luciel Military in the Genesis version, so they're the Christian Crusaders. And apparently after the events of the last game, they're still making a problem out of themselves. A powerful evil is devouring the land. The Clispin threat yet remains, and already another woe has come upon us. Sadler, thank the Maker you have come. The monsters have cut our supply lines. I'm going to Baghdad to find the source of this evil. I have heard a curse has fallen over Baghdad. Be careful, friend. You have only to fear for yourselves. I will be fine. You know, Sadler, you're coming off a little arrogant there. Also, have you noticed what's missing? Character portraits. Which is kind of a bummer, because I like those. If you must go, I will leave the north gate open. Thank you, Prince. I shall set your land free from this evil. And we get a little musical jingle there to let us know that we're ready to move on. And yep, gate's open. And we're into our first action scene in the Nabad Desert. Now, you might have already noticed the biggest mechanical problem with Exile 2 there. Look at how close I have to get to the edge of the screen in order to make it scroll. That's something that really makes me wonder if this game got enough playtesting, because something that forces you to charge headlong into danger like that and not have much time to react to something coming at you, that seems like the sort of thing QA should really catch. Sadler still has his usual complement of attacks, including the down thrust. Another thing besides the whole edge-of-the-screen business that makes Exile 2 more difficult than the first is that Working Designs had a bigger hand in tweaking this one. They increased the health and damage of pretty much every enemy in the game, so things can kill you very quickly, especially in the early game, because just like Exile 1, Sadler starts out incredibly weak and fragile. On the bright side, a positive change Working Designs made is they actually improved the graphics in a few places. Like, I believe there was only a single layer of scrolling in the Japanese version, whereas here we have all those nice layers of parallax in the clouds. That's something that WD did. Thanks, guys. Oh, and there's our first level. Another nice touch of Exile 2 is that when you level up, you get a proportionate amount of HP back. And I really want that sword and shield, so we are going to hang around in the Baghdad Desert for a little bit longer. Okay, we've got enough for one piece of equipment. Before I gained my first level, pretty much anything in this area would be able to two-shot me, with the exception of the green cactus things, which could actually have one-shot me. Fortunately, at level 2 our survivability is a little bit better, although it won't be if I keep taking completely unnecessary hits like that. And I just inadvertently proceeded onward to the Madonna Oasis, so we know that's our next stop. But again, I really want those equipment upgrades before I try to push things any further. By the time we get back to the left, though, we'll have plenty of money. And that stop we did in Madonna Oasis also did restore our health. Of course, this time it can't be Rumi restoring our health. R.I.P. Wonder whatever happened to Kindi and Fakil, too. They just kind of disappeared from Exile 1. Never showed up again after we left them at the Shrine of Solomon. Alright, now I've got more than enough money for the upgrades that I wanted. Oh, they're 30, not 40. See, that's my memory being an asshole. Tends to do that a lot. Actually, let's go ahead and equip those. And sell off our old stuff before I save. Just like the first game, the opening equipment is only worth 5 gold a pop, but that's 5 we wouldn't have otherwise, and keeps them from cluttering up our inventory. Alright, this time we're actually going to advance. Just 2 hits for the scorpions now, that's quite nice. Oh, and I failed to point out one of the things I really like about Exile 2, which is that all enemies get health bars. Every time I hit something, you can see its health bar appear under mine at the top of the screen. So you can see how much damage you're doing, or how much damage you have left to do to any given enemy. So as you can see, Exile 2 does have some genuine technical improvements. It's just a damn shame about that scrolling issue. But never mind that, on to Madonna Oasis. We've prayed from sunrise till sunset, but the evil yet remains around us. There has been talk of an injured girl that showed up in Baghdad. Oh, that's a shame. Maybe we can do something for her. Nice Oasis, too. Hell of a lot nicer than the tiny one in Exile 1 that turned out to be an antlion pit. We must repent of our ways if God is to remove this calamity. Soon we will starve. Baghdad surely has received the wrath of God. It is said to be in ruins. Well, someone did say there was a curse on Baghdad. The talk of a hideous monster in Baghdad grows daily. Wow, they really have problems over there. Whoops. Damn it. There we go. The Clispins have created these monsters. Well, we certainly know they're jerks. Brave warrior, deliver us! I'm so stressed. This guy's really chill about everything that's going on. Everyone's kind of wailing and gnashing their teeth about starvation. This guy just says he's kind of anxious. Couple more restoratives and other tonics here. Cannabis, I'm pretty sure is cannabis. Other words, marijuana. Pika and Kvass, on the other hand, I don't know. Just like Joyako, if you have any thoughts as to what those might be, please do weigh in the comments. May Fala guide you. Oh, working designs, I see what you did there, just dropping an F in front of the name. My children are starving. Help us! Alright, we've got an equipment upgrade, and we've got a level under our belt. How much to the next level? Not too much. I think we'll probably be okay without restoratives for now. That may bite me in the ass, but with the weapon improvement, I think we can make it. The Altair River is going to be our next stop, and these stinging insects aren't too bad because if you stay in the water here and crouch, their stinger can't hit you. These jellyfish things are completely trivial. Unfortunately, these spike things, when they're a little bit off of the ground like that, the only thing we can do is try and destroy them as quickly as possible. And in this case, get a level in the process. Any more of these spine-launching things we encounter in the river, I believe they'll be a little higher up so we can actually duck under their spines. Oh! The bug hit me there. I don't know how he did that. That usually can't happen. Still, we're in reasonably good shape as far as health goes. And we should be coming up on the mini-boss soon. The mini-boss for this area is no big deal. It has lots and lots of health, but can't actually hit me most of the time, so I think we'll be just fine. Oops, that's one of its attacks right there. This big, freaky flower thing. And all it does is shoot these orange blobs overhead and they slowly drift towards you. You have to be kind of close to hit it, and it has a ton and a half of health. In fact, only every other attack I'm using on it actually does any damage to its health bar. Which makes me wonder if Working Designs just gave this thing way more of a sack of health than they should have. But in any case, even if we have to hack at the thing all day, we can do that without any real worry. Because its attacks are very easy to intercept. Hum-de-dum. Finally. And at long last, Baghdad. These disasters have me scared. I'm afraid to leave my house. Well, it looks like Baghdad isn't completely destroyed, but there has been a house casualty or two. Only we are plagued with shuddering ground. Isn't that strange? Well, in addition to monsters and such, it looks like there have also been some natural disasters. The gods are angry. I feel as if we're being manipulated. Oh, Fala, please save us from this evil power. Some say our god has abandoned us. The shuddering land has claimed my home. Will this ever stop? Our cable has been cut! No more MST3K! Oh, what have we done to deserve this? Well, repeat to yourself, it's just a game, you should really just relax. No one here can sleep. We are cursed! Cursed, I say! Help us! And here's another weapon shop, and if I can afford the upgrades, I will certainly take them. The cross sword. And the dual shield. Wonder if it smells like pickles. I hope it smells like pickles. Here we have a couple of additions. There's Cantharos, which I think is like the previous game in that it's the strongest attack buff item. We also have Peyote, the name of which has not been obfuscated at all. And Peyote is the equivalent of heart poisons in the previous game, the best healing item. I think it's 150, so I might just pick one up. Oh, 120, better yet. So I'll pick one up now. Our hate of the Clispins has brought this woe upon us. We must find a way to stop this. Oh, this seems like a tolerance-minded guy. That's pretty cool. I saw a snake man at the watch house, but nobody believes me. Could he be the cause of our calamity? Well, you certainly don't tend to see those in good times. This all started when that injured girl came to our town. Well, all the more reason to help her out if we can, so that she can move on. I think the Clispins are behind this. They want us dead from fear. Brave warrior, tell me the cause of this. Oh, sorry, buddy, the investigation's still in progress. Some say that this is the work of an evil being. I don't believe all that hocus-pocus. Please go away. I won't have any visitors until the land is safe once again. Some say that this is the work of Shaltar wizards gone mad. The TurboGrafx opening cutscene mentioned the Shaltar world, so I guess that's just like the equivalent of Earth in this cosmology, or whatever word I'm looking for there. The Clispins have no respect for the holy things in our land. I am sure the Grinders have cursed us with this for invading their territory. Grinders. Maybe it's Grindus and they're supposed to be the equivalent of Hindus? I'm not entirely sure. And this, I think, is that watchtower someone mentioned. What? Who's there? I must be hearing things. Seems clean to me. This is a cursed land. Soon all will be brought to ruin. Ha 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 ha! Oh, that seems to about cover it. Except for that mysterious lady in red. Rumi? Is that really you? Sadler! It's so good to see you again. I thought you died in the tower. After you left, Yug abandoned Joffrey and me. I was able to find another way out of the collapsed tower, but Joffrey wasn't so fortunate. Morning till I joined you, Joffrey. You were a good dude. Why didn't you return to Assassi to find me? I arrived here half dead and just recovered my full strength. Do you have any idea what is causing the ground to shudder? Some say it's caused by a monster in the tower. Well, I just checked that place out, but I don't know, maybe an extra pair of eyes will help. Help me stop this destruction. Join my quest, Rumi. I thought you'd never ask. And Ruby joined the quest. And that is our second playable character. We can take a look at her stats now. Levels and XP, I believe, are shared by everyone in the party, so you don't have to swap people in just to level them up. And she uses knives for her weapons, as you probably guessed from the intro. And for her armor, she uses amulets, which you wouldn't think would be of much use unless someone was trying to poke you directly in the front of the neck, but who am I to judge? Anyway, as I mentioned a moment ago, maybe an extra pair of eyes would help at the watchtower, so let's try it again now that we've got Rumi with us. I heard something in here before. What's that noise outside? Someone said a snake man might be the cause of the destruction, and that gentleman up there on the second floor certainly looks like he has some snakes wrapped around him. So nice of you to visit again. I'm sick of your face, Rumi. How did you know my name? Ha! I should have made sure you died in the tower's collapse. But that's an easy mistake to fix now that your pretty boy is here. I'll kill 2 nerds with 1 stone. Ha 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 ha! Then I can rule this town with my awesome power. What an ego. Are you done foaming at the mouth? Your game's up, Hiss Boy. Yeah, we'll try this on for size.
Dremel, you've come out of your hole. Sadler, my friend, you seem to be in an uncomfortable bind.
Brilliant deduction.
Wotan, no bata day, heaven to earth, blood to dust, elemental begun.
Akil! Candy!
So begins the fight with Dremel. He rises out of the ground, throws a Hadouken, then takes a swing with his snake. If you get hit by the Hadouken, that freezes you, and if you're close enough, that means you'll be hit by the snake, which is where the real damage comes from. But we have a new weapon in our arsenal, and that's being able to change party members. Rumi with her knives has ranged attacks, which can be very handy. However, she does quite a bit less damage than Sadler, and is also rather fragile herself. So I think Sadler's going to be the better choice here overall, so we don't have to spend all day with this fight. And Fakil and Kendi did arrive in that last cutscene, but they have not officially joined us yet, so we can't switch to them. What I'd like to do with Dremel is get in 3 hits on him, then back away to jump over the Hadouken, and wait for his next teleport. Three hits seems to be the sort of comfort zone to give me enough time to back off. What's weird is that he actually has less health than that mini-boss we fought a little while ago. Dremel actually is quite strong for this point in the game, and could bring us down in a couple hits, but his pattern is so simple that avoiding those hits is really not a big deal at all. And I quite like the boss music in this game. Nice little bit of Middle Eastern flavor to it. One more round will do it, I think. And we got a level, too. After defeating Dremel, Sadler learned from Kendi and Fakil that extraordinary events were taking place across the land. Peaceful peoples of nearby towns had suddenly become crazed and turned to murderous activities. Perhaps Dremel's appearance and the activities of the Clispins had something to do with the surge of madness, but these could not be the root cause. Taking the advice of Fakil, Sadler continued on toward Dali. Rumors abounded that a secret movement there was the cause of this sudden surge of evil, and Sadler remained determined to stop the bizarre violence. I'll update the save there. And now that Dremel's down, we have lots of new dialogue, so we'll pick up some of that, and I think I'll also buy another peyote while I'm here. I think that's what you said before. Thanks for saving me. You're welcome. I don't know who the hell you are. The Pansagulls are a hateful group. They worship a god of death. Will this land ever be at peace? Please tell me. Hey, as soon as I know, dude, you will. Whatever commanded Dremel is still out there. That's true, otherwise this would be a very short game. Dremel was one of 4 monsters terrorizing our land. Well, 1 down, 3 to go then. Dremel was not acting alone, I think. What a feast we shall have to celebrate Dremel's demise. I must repair my house. Be careful. The Pansagulls hate us. Well, they hate the people here. They're worshippers of a death god. Sounds like a rough bunch. Thank Fala you saved us. The disasters have increased lately. Our prayers have been answered. Something is controlling people's minds. By Fala, please be careful on your journey. Now that my house is rebuilt, I can say goodbye to camping out, thank Fala. Fala will provide a savior for us. By the grace of Fala! It looks like we can't leave this way anymore. Guess there's no turning back. We must rebuild Baghdad. Will you deliver us from this calamity? Well, I'll certainly give it my best shot. Be on your guard. My grandmother. I thought the Clispins were bad, but these monsters are much worse. Okay, the weapon shop is not what I'm looking for. Whoops. I want peyote. Alright, let's update that save. And then we'll head out toward the east. Now, this next area is actually quite deadly, so keep your fingers crossed. Before we actually proceed into the Zagros Mountains, though, I'll take a moment to show off our other 2 party members, because Fakil and Kindi are now officially part of the party. As you might imagine, Fakil uses projectile magic. His shots are quite slow, he's quite slow, and he's a lousy jumper, so I don't tend to make use of Fakil very often. He's just my least favorite of the overall cast. And then there's Kindi. Kindi is also quite slow and a poor jumper, but his punch is very powerful, and he still has the amazing bathroom slippers. The other thing about Kindi, when you go to check his weapons, he has nothing on hand. Kindi's kind of gimmick is that he doesn't need equipment. He punches hard enough to fight with his bare fists, and he's tough enough to not need any armor. Really though, Sadler is the best character for most situations just because of his overall balanced stats and the nice arc of his sword. Rumi can be handy too for her ranged attacks, but except for in specific situations, and if I just want to show them off every now and then, I'll mostly be using Sadler. It would help if I changed back to him. Now we're gonna have these pouncing critter things here, which can be a pain in the ass just because they appear so suddenly with us moving so close to the edge of the screen all the time. They're not the main danger here though. What we really have to worry about are these women that come flying in from the side of the screen. Once you can get them above you, you can hit them with the arc of your sword and then just dodge the projectiles they drop downward. But they just fly in so fast that it's very easy to get hit by them on their initial appearance on the screen. Unless they're really far overhead, the sort of downward arc of Sadler's sword there is very handy for hitting them. That was a very unnecessary hit, but once again, it probably wouldn't have caught me if I didn't have to scroll so damn close to the edge of the screen. I really hate that. When's our next level coming? 400. Not too terribly far off. Well, things are going acceptably so far, and if I get in too much trouble, I have some nice psychoactive cactus. Whoa. Speaking of which, HP is increased. For being the most effective healing item, that really wasn't a whole lot of HP it restored. I think we're about to come up on the mid-boss. There he is. Nifty thing about this guy is that you can stop his projectiles cold just by standing close and whacking the hell out of him. So we won't really have to use any actual technique in beating this guy. But we can't let our guard down now because there's still going to be a few enemies before we actually reach the end of the stage. Oh, level up. At a very good time, because otherwise I was going to have to use that other peyote. And we have now arrived in Hatela. Some have gone mad and caused the chaos around us. This is Hatela, a chamber of commerce, or a center of commerce for the region. All sorts of valuable information can be found here. Well, information is what we need because we still don't really have any idea what we're up against. The Pensagulls lead the anti-Shaltar movement. The crazy Pensagulls are saying they will offer Shaltarians to their god. Can't we all just get along? Nice dated reference there, Working Designs. Dali is a stronghold for those that hate Shaltar. You'd better not go there. Well, I'm afraid that is our destination. The Shaltar world must be defeated. They are a cursed people. The Pensagulls are much too violent. I have doubts about their purpose. If you follow the river, you will get to Dali. We are more tolerant of Shaltarians than the people of Dali. So I guess Shaltar isn't the whole world, maybe it's like a continent or something? I think the Pensagulls are the source of the evil creeping over our land. Did we talk to this guy? Yes. The Pensagulls are insane! Watch out! The Pensagulls are a fanatical religious cult that kill foreigners and worship the god of death. Sick, but they've grown very strong here. You Shaltarians are the cause of the calamity in our land. I think we've got a shop there. We Pensagulls have the favor of God. So apparently this town is mostly not crazy about the Pensagulls, but there actually are a few of them here. Okay, him we've talked to before, so we might as well check out the shops. And Sadler will certainly take the sword and shield upgrade, which thankfully we can afford. Let's see, we'll also pick up a knife for Rumi. Oh, we have to back out and use her inventory to pick it up. Kenya knife. And Strabon amulet. Let's go ahead and equip those and sell our old stuff. Menace knife. Starting equipment is only worth 5G for Rumi as well. Do we have enough for Fakil's upgrades? Let's find out. It's gonna bring our money down a good bit, but we can just barely afford it. Likewise, we will get rid of his old gear, get a little of that cash back. We're certainly going to need it. Alright, not a hell of a lot to do here in this town, just a little way station on our way to Dali. And I think we've done everything here we can. Now the Indus River, which I guess is the Indus River, is much like the previous river that we came through, just the same kind of insects and jellyfish type enemies and what have you, so I think we'll be pretty okay proceeding through this. Fingers crossed anyway. And we're a lot stronger than we were at the time that we did that river. And just like in the river past, I find staying low to be a good approach. Lets us stay under the bugs, and not worry about spikes coming at us from below. Also, it appears that Sadler doesn't actually need air, so I guess that's good too. And here we are in Dali, which is supposedly a stronghold of the Pansagals, so don't expect too warm a welcome here. Our god lives in the Spire of Eternity. Wonder if that's that god of death we've heard about. We must exterminate all who don't worship God Crowley. Crowley, huh? I think you're gonna want a name for your god that doesn't sound quite so much like a breakfast treat. Only the Elder and the Dean can enter the Spire. I don't sell to heathens, so we will not be able to make use of the shop here. You'll never leave here alive. Our god lives in the Spire of Eternity. We know neither Hamlil nor Fala. We only worship God Crowley. We shall call down eternal suffering on you. Yeah, not a very hospitable place at all. The Pansagals have the most powerful god. Well, if he really does reign over death, I guess that would make him pretty powerful. Your power is nothing compared to God Crowley. Can Zamfir wail on the flute or what? Oh, working designs. We will kill you all with Crowley's help. It is dangerous for you to be here. Flee quickly before the Pansagals find you. Okay, so it's not a completely Pansagal place here. We'll check out that northern part in just a bit. We will condemn you Shaltarians to death. Your leaders have gone mad. Thank the power of our grand god. Zealous folk around here. This town exists solely on hate. Wow. Curses on your land. If you value your life, leave here immediately. Another shop that won't sell to us. Looks like we've got a way out over here, and there was one at the bottom, I believe. I don't teach heathens. Why do you come here from Shaltar? I'm looking for the cause of the calamities that have befallen Shaltar. Do you suspect the Panzergulls? Of course, they murder Shaltarians to appease their god. Then go to the Spire and meet their god. If you defeat him, I'm sure you'll find peace. Take this key. And we got a key. Why are you helping us heathens? Maybe you can stop their murderous ways. Maybe then we can live together in peace. That is a dream I share with you. Go now, warrior. Well, it's a lovely dream, but somehow I can't think it's gonna be quite that easy. Also, we're supposed to beat up a god next? That seems like a rather quick progression of things to that end, even for a JRPG. Okay, that just goes back to the river. So we're about due to check out that one in the upper right. It is the Spire key, and that's where the god supposedly dwells. So it looks like we're going to be throwing down with Crowley in the not-too-distant future. Fakil, give me that key. Ah, there. And we now have another action sequence in the Spire of Eternity. The enemies here seem pretty tough, so I think I'm gonna nope on out of there for now, and we'll save the Spire for the next episode. Well, I think that's about enough for today, folks. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you next episode where we throw down with the Death God Crowley. Till then, this is signing off. Today's Ringing Out the Old and Ringing in the New has been brought to you by Justin Carpenter, Nolden, Zangamarth, Anonymous Benefactor, John Madigan, Sanguine Games, Misha Van Doren, Frank Grizzy, Tim J., Lolo De Puzzlo, Joshua C. Ritchie, Jared C. Rice, Sonic Rose, EX Potemkin, Alicia Goranson, Mechasaurus, DG Jono, Doug Russell, August Fortnite, Patrick Bellinger, Rob Lyons, Andy Kurland, Jarogue, Martin Schowenmakers, Mayo the Hedgefox, Hildegard Argelmach, IGV, Jazel, Joseph Hall, Hot Mayo Sandwich, Dan Larson, and other merry revelers. Thank you all so much for your continued support, it really does mean a lot to me, and thank you to all subscribers and watchers, and the fine folks from the comments section. I hope you've had a grand New Year's Eve, and I wish you all the best moving forward into 2018. Take care now.